Alright, what's up everybody? My name is Hayden and I wanted to make this video just to track the progress that my brother and I have made in our first month of game development. And actually, it's kind of been only like 3 weeks of actually making the game. Right now, I want to say at the start, if you guys at any point in this video get an idea for our game, please comment it below. We would love to add whatever suggestions you guys have. And also make sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss any farther updates or the release of our actual game. So I'm sure like many of you guys, I actually became interested in making games by playing Minecraft years and years ago. I remember going into creative for hours and hours and taking the simple redstone template and turning it into something complex so I could make my own mini games inside of Minecraft, and we had like our own little special server in there. It was a ton of fun. Of course, that's very different from actual game development, and although we've looked into getting some courses on Unity and following some stuff on Udemy, YouTube, all of the tutorial channels and stuff like that, we'd never really worked on our own project. To be honest, we've probably never spent more than like half a day on one project in Unity. I don't really even remember what sparked it this time, but about a month ago, we were kind of inspired by watching some of our favorite game developer channels on YouTube, like Danny, Brackeys, Blackthorn Prod, and we just decided we really wanted to make our own game. So after brainstorming some insane ideas, we decided to follow the wise counsel of pretty much every game maker and make our first project insanely simple, or so we thought it would be. The idea was basically taking the simple whack-a-moles concept of just trying to tap them off whenever they come up, and we wanted to make it into something that's a little bit more complex. We wanted to add like waves in a shop and a cool medieval vibe, and the plan was that I was going to do all the animations and art for the project while my brother Chase would do all of the coding. I cannot stress enough how important it has been for us to work together on this project, because we've both gone through crazy periods where we were insanely stressed and really frustrated at this one aspect in Unity, and we've kind of kept each other moving along the process. And also, if it had just been me or just him, our project would not be anywhere near where it is today. All of our progress is really attributed to the fact that we've both been working on these two different aspects and just kind of moving them along together. The art went kind of how you'd expect in the first week. I have done a lot of drawing in the past, but I have never done anything digitally. Really, all I've ever worked on is just some charcoal portraits, and as you can imagine, it does not really translate very well. We experimented with pixel art a little bit at first, but we ultimately settled on kind of a cartoony drawing because it's way more forgiving on me trying to do all these animations. And as you can see, the first models of our little simple knight character look a little bit like a 2-year-old drew them. But I didn't get discouraged. I went back to YouTube and I watched some more Blackthorn Prod tutorials on animations and bringing them into Unity, and now it looks like a 3-year-old drew them, so we're making progress every day. Chase, on the other hand, hit the ground running. Actually, I really don't even think he hit the ground. He kind of just came out flying. The first version of the game was finished at the end of that day. Using just a couple of the assets that I quickly finished for him, you could shoot an arrow from your castle, destroy several enemies, and it was really our first game. Little did we know, not a single piece of that project would be a part of our version 3 weeks later. We were very excited and started to progress very, very quickly from there. We made very large strides until about 2 weeks in. We came to a terrible realization that basically everything needed to be fixed. Our scripts were stitched up Frankensteins of a script. And the problem with that is that although we had kind of made it work at that point in time, scaling it up, adding more enemies, adding waves, balancing all those waves, things like that were going to become impossible if we kept going at the pace we were with the design we were. So that night we spent about 6 hours basically redoing everything we had done. Now that kind of makes it sound like we did more than we actually did, because we could take a lot of the pieces and just clean it all up and make it work a lot smoother. And so that's really what we tried to do. That night actually became the best update for the project. Things have been a lot smoother since then, but even more importantly than that, my brother Chase did it all on his own. No tutorials, no anything. 2 weeks in, we realized we actually knew a lot more than we thought we did. That update was really vital for us just seeing our own progress. Like, we were actually making a game on our own at that point. Of course, we still needed help, and of course, we're going to still need help. I don't even know how many times in the future. But that update was probably the biggest for the game, and we called it version 2 because although it doesn't necessarily look like it when you're in the game view, basically everything behind the scenes is completely a new game. Our latest hurdle has been redesigning and balancing the spawning script. This is something that we've actually thought about making a video about in the future if enough of you guys are interested, because we kind of scoured the internet. We scoured YouTube, Unity Learn, some Udemy courses, and we couldn't find anything that was actually pertaining to the type of spawning mechanism that we wanted to create. So we actually had to do it ourselves, and it took a few days. And I'm not trying to say that we've invented anything new. It's a simple spawning script that randomly picks locations around the map and balances it as it goes up. But I am saying that I don't think there was any tutorials that are for this specific type of spawning system. And so again, if enough people are interested, we could do a video on that. And this last week has been so much better and a lot harder at the same time. It's harder because we're facing more complex issues in each of our fields, but it's been a lot better because we're both so much more proficient at problem solving and just designing in the first place. You can see here I finished some new designs for new enemies that we want to bring into the game. We'll definitely be adding these in a version very soon, so you guys got to stay tuned. And the game now has a menu, a pause button, and we're fully ready to input audio as soon as we find the sounds that we want. So I wanted to keep this update short because I'd actually like to put some gameplay at the end. So please just remember, this is our first 3 weeks of ever designing a game ever, and we really just hope that it inspires any of you guys out there who are thinking of starting a project to finally sit down and just make it. Alright, so without any further ado, this is our latest version that we finished at midnight last night. This is some gameplay for you guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you guys would like to see added to the game. See ya.